Most of this video is going to be sped up footage. If I did not speed it up, it'd be about 5 hours long of me just slowly going back and forth. This is my 2007 Kubota L39. This one is called a TLB. It has a removable backhoe. What I'm using is my homemade box blade. It's definitely nothing fancy. It's all mild steel, and it just does what I need it to do. My driveway is about a quarter-mile long, and I have a fairly large parking area for, all the vehicles and all the trailers. And I got several quotes to pave this driveway, and with the parking area and a little parking pad down by the house that I could put a carport on, it was $39,000. It was $18,000 just to do the area that I'm covering with the Asphalt Millings. So I've got about $1,900 in the Asphalt Millings, and it's just a start. I've bought several loads of gravel kind of here and there as I've needed it. Gravel, specifically 57, I believe they call it number 3, which is a little bit bigger than the 57 stone, and crusher run or crush and run, whichever way you want to say it, is over $700 where I live for a tandem axle 18-ton load. And I was paying close to $600 before COVID, and I guess the cost of fuel and who knows whatever else. So there's a quarry not too far from where I live. I would say 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I don't own a dump trailer. My brother has a dump truck, but it's just a 1988 R30, which is basically just a C30 that's came as a cabin chassis. It's a 1-ton dually, but you might be able to get 2 tons in it. And it's a 350 Chevy motor from 1988 that gets maybe 6-8 miles to the gallon. You would spend a fortune driving back and forth. It just doesn't make sense. So for my situation, ordering it by the dump truck load, the tandem dump truck load. Now everybody's like, oh, I paid $350. I get gravel all the time, a couple times a year. I paid $350. Well, they don't realize they're buying a single axle. They're probably getting 5 tons at a time. That's why it's so cheap. But it's really not cheap, because if you add those up, you're paying more than I'm paying. If you're going to buy gravel, get the tandem axle 18-ton loads. It's getting pretty dark right here, but I'm going to give it up for the day in just a minute, and then we'll start the next day. Now, if this was a house I was planning on staying in forever, I would definitely spend the money and pave the entire driveway. But I hate to spend that money when I want to move in the next 3 to 5 years. I just don't see me getting that back out of the house. When we go to list this house, we'll just put a few fresh loads down, clean it up real nice, and good to go. Alright, it's the next morning. I got my tractor warming up. I just tried to scrape what little bit of grass that was here up. I didn't get it all 100%, but my plan is I'm just kind of just trying to get it put out here, and then I'm gonna take my box blade and try to smooth it out. And over the next couple of days, it's got a lot of huge chunks in it, so when I try to drag it with my bucket, that's a small chunk. I mean, it's got it's got chunks bigger than my hand in it. Yeah, so let's get back to spreading. In the past, when I've ordered gravel, I've always had them tailgate the loads for me. I wasn't completely sure how I was going to do this little turnaround here, or how I was going to do the entrance down at the other end of the shop. So I just had them dump the gravel where they did, and I would just have to move it slowly the way that I am in this video. We've been getting a lot of rain lately, and I had actually started scraping this grass up before I ever ordered any of these asphalt millings. it just rained so much, it was just turning it into just a sloppy, muddy mess. So I decided to stop and wait until they delivered this material. I really wasn't sure how I wanted all this to tie in. I just knew that I was tired of walking through the mud to get into my shop. My grass is very patchy in my yard, and I always seem to find the muddy spots when I'm walking either to the house or to the shop.
This is where I'm at so far. I keep having to pick these big chunks out, and some of these chunks are massive. But yeah, I may end up renting a roller or maybe even like a plate compactor. I don't know if that thing's actually going to be heavy enough, but I'm not sure. But it's kind of good for right this minute. I'm not sure. I get a lot of water that comes down through here when it rains. I may end up having to put something over here to hold it in, but I'm hoping, you know, after the sun beats on it this summer, this will just pack real good. And I can't get any grass to grow right here. I think this oak tree, which I'm taking down eventually, is trees just suck all the water out of the ground. And so anyway, this is where I'm at. I'm going to take a break from this, and I'm going to take some of this material down to the other end of my shop and work down there. And I'm definitely going to have to get some more. I was trying to do a big parking area over here and then just add some more down here. I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be enough. I got 4 loads, and then I was going to see how far that went. Now, when I order gravel, they bring me an actual scale ticket. You know, I asked if these were 18-ton loads. They said yes. I don't think they were. Definitely the first 2 they brought me, there's no way. They're way smaller than the last 2 loads that I got brought. So yeah, I just keep kind of working it back and forth, you know, just packing it down, and, you know, dragging it. And it's very lumpy and bumpy, but it's supposed to rain today and tomorrow. So I want to try to get some more of this material down. I may be going to work sometime today, so I'm just having to get done what I can while I can. So anyways, let's move some of this material down here to the other end of the shop. This is still pretty steep coming out of here. I've built it up, you know, some with some dirt. I wish I would have put some doors on this side of my shop, but at the time I was thinking that, you know, I was going to be able to drive straight through, and then this led to that, and it's just hadn't turned out the way I wanted it to. But plus I want to get a lift in here, and I would only block one bay if I had put the doors to the side. But, you know, it's all right. I don't want to do that now because, well, I may end up adding one. I don't know what I'm going to do. But anyways, this is I started cutting some of this dirt out a while back. I'm just trying to cut this big hump out. It's hard to tell from right here, but so I'm going to pull a little bit more dirt out of here, and eventually I want to put a concrete apron right here, 2 or 3 feet, just but for now I guess I'm going to bring the asphalt millings all the way up. And yeah, I mean, I was hoping to get a nice big area, but I think for right now I just need to start with like a drive, just a lane to get up into the building. I've dumped mulch here that I've gotten for free. I put hay, a wheat straw, just whatever. And this is just, it just gets so, that stuff breaks down. And anyways, it's time to put some material here. So that's what we're going to work on now.
I get into a big root right here for that oak tree there, which I took about 50 trees down to build my shop right here, and I left this big oak tree with the pallets there, and I left the big oak tree on the other side and was thinking it would give me a little bit of shade, but I should have just taken those down too, because they have kept me from growing any grass in these areas. They just suck so much water out of the ground, and they drop pieces of limbs and acorns, and it just drives me insane. There's always something hitting the roof of this shop, and it's not insulated. I had planned on spray foaming it, and it was just too much money, and I had already spent enough on the building, so I wish I'd have taken those 2 trees down. I thought I was going to have a little bit of shade, but in the end it just wasn't worth it. And now I'm worried I'm going to end up catching a big limb down through the roof of this thing. So I will be taking those down here soon. Even with a tractor, sometimes you still got to grab a shovel. And I don't know if you noticed when I walked through my shop a minute ago, but there is a backhoe for this tractor. I just had it pulled off to be able to use the box blade. This tractor does have a PTO so that I can run bush hog and other implements. Bush hog, brush hog, people say it different ways. I guess bush hog is a brand, but it takes about 30 minutes to take off the box blade, put the backhoe on, and it just wasn't worth it to be able to dig this little bit out. I'm trying to get a nice thick base right here at the building, which I hope to be pouring some aprons sooner than later. So we're getting close to the end of this video, and I just wanted to mention a few more things. I like these asphalt millings. They do have a lot of chunks in it. I don't know if it's always like that or if it's just where I got these from. I definitely wish I had gotten a roller or even a plate compactor and pack these in. You can watch me throughout the video dumping a little bit and kind of rolling it down and dumping and rolling it down. I was just trying to kind of put it in place in case we got some more rain, and just kind of see what the compaction was going to be like on it. This machine only weighs like 7,500, I believe. Now that is with the backhoe on it, so it doesn't weigh nearly that much, because this thing will pick up around 2,000 pounds, and it won't even pick up close to that. I can't even pick up that brush hog. I don't know if you saw the red one sitting over against the tree line. I can't even pick that up without the backhoe on here, because it picks the back tires up off the ground. The backhoe is designed to be used on this machine for the counterbalance when you're using the front end loader. I think that I do like this material. It has a lot of chunks in it, a lot of chunks. So it's hard to back drag, and it's hard to use the box blade. You can see me, now it is sped up footage, but you see me raising and lowering the box blade a lot. A lot of that is because this footage is sped up. I would start to drag, it would catch a big chunk, and it would just put like a 4-inch groove in what I was trying to smooth out. I think I do like this material. It seems to compact well, and we'll just see how it goes. I originally wanted to try crushed concrete, but I couldn't never get anyone to get back to me on Facebook Marketplace, and I had a hard time getting asphalt millings from Facebook Marketplace. I don't see how these people make any money when they won't get back to you.
Well, I was losing the day, so I had to cut this camera off and just knock the rest of this pile out over here. But that was 4 loads. Supposedly 18-ton loads, but I don't think it was. 2 of them maybe. The first 2 were definitely smaller. But I built this shop about 4 years ago. I've been walking through the mud. You know, I mean, the grass has been patchy, but I can actually get into the building over there without driving into the mud. I need to get some more and work on my driveway, but there it is. Now I can move this back over here, get my trailers off my grass, and yeah, asphalt millings.